Hey everybody, it's Karina with Karina Loves to Plan. Welcome back to my channel. I am here because I am going to swatch all of the green inks that are in my collection. And of course I choose the Tombow that's only kind of green. Green inks, then, which makes me wonder if there's now an ink that I need to include in this that I wasn't going to include in this, which I'm gonna double check. That's more, should I include that in there? I don't know, because it looks kind of green, right? The Sailor Ink Studio 280. Now I'm questioning everything. No, those are more yellow. Or are they green? Oh, I don't know. Or if I'm gonna go to, like, for example, I'm already completely second guessing myself, so I apologize. But yeah, Sailor Ink Studio looks green there, but it's got pink. Or let's see, like Diamine Weeping Willow is very similar. No, that's like more brown. So that, okay. You know what? I'll include Sailor Ink Studio 280 just so that I have that in here. Okay, but anyway, that was a very long introduction to the fact that I'm going to be swatching all of my green inks today. I am doing this to basically keep track of everything that I have. It's a way of tracking my collections. So tracking all the colors that I have, but also what I'm going to be doing, I guess later on this year, or probably even next month, is going through all of the different brands of inks that I have and showing exactly what I have of each brand, a way of keeping track of my collections. But anyway, there's going to be a few here. So let's get started. I'll be swatching in my Hobonichi A5 notebook with 52 GSM Tomoe River paper, along with swatching with my Speedball B nib. This is a size 0 B nib, and then my Kakimori stainless steel nib. All right, now let's get started. Okay, I'm going to do this in alphabetical order by brand. First is going to be, I got water on that already, Andurilium Spirula Green. And this ink was sent to me by Andurilium. And it is a lovely green. I also really like painting with these inks too. And there's also something about swatching all these inks that I really enjoy. I know some of my friends would find this practice really boring and dull, but for me, I find this really relaxing. So Stipula Green, let's do the line width. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. And the figure 8s. Love that. So Andurilium Stipula Green. No, it's not Stipula, it's Spirula Green. Oh my gosh. Spirula. Well. The next green is Colorverse Alpha Pisces. This was one of the very first bottles of ink that I ever purchased. And I remember I first bought a sample of this from PenChalet, and I don't know, where did I get the sample from? Now I can't remember where I got the sample from, but I really liked it because of its more muted green tones. And I haven't used this in a while, and I really should. But I just love the grayish green tones of that ink. It is a little bit of a drier green, but still beautiful. So Colorverse Alpha Pisces, and swatching these inks definitely makes me want to put them in a pen. Love that. Colorverse Alpha Pisces. The next in the brand of inks is Diamine, and I have 4 Diamine inks here. First is a Diamine Cappadocia. This one was, I believe, an exclusive or a collaboration with Galen leather, but I bought this ink without ever, without ever trying a sample. And see, that seems to be becoming more prevalent now. Before I used to be like, buy the sample first, but I couldn't get this one in a sample. It's a darker green with a lovely greenish gold shimmer. Perfect for the holidays. And I've only really used it during the holidays, but it's one of those inks that I love and I'm not going to get rid of. So we have Diamine, Kappa, Doja, and then do the line width. And it's going to be so pretty when it dries with all of that gold shimmer, and there's a little bit of red sheen as well. So Diamine, Cappadocia. The next in the Diamine series is Diamine Meadow. Again, an ink that I have owned for quite a while, probably one of the first bottles of ink that I have ever purchased. And this green is such a lovely, I say, safe green. I love it for painting, but it's also such a well-behaved ink. It flows beautifully. It does well in all of my nibs. So Diamine Meadow. And it shades really beautifully. One of those green inks that's just, I think, a really good staple in any collection. So we have Diamine Meadow. Next is Diamine Olive Swirl. This was from the Ink Vent calendar of 2023, I believe it was, and I'm realizing how much of this bottle I have used, or I've actually maybe possibly given some away. But it's a beautiful olive color with shimmer. One of my favorite shades of green is this kind of olive green shade. Making sure I can get enough here on my nib. So Diamine, whoops. Definitely did not get enough on my nib. There we go. Diamine, now I got lots. Olive Swirl. And look at that. How pretty. I love Diamine shimmer inks because they are really well behaved in a pen. So Diamine Olive Swirl. Next we have another Diamine ink. It's Diamine Sugar Snap, again from the Ink Vent 2023 calendar. Another lovely shimmery ink. I feel like this is almost like a darker shade of meadow with shimmer. And now that I'm swatching this, I'm realizing, do I really want to keep this ink? I think that's also the purpose of me doing these collection type ink videos, is to make me look at what I own and make me reevaluate whether I need to keep every single shade of green that I currently have. But it's so pretty. Actually, I really like it. I'm keeping that. Diamine Sugar Snap. Next is Dominant Industry Autumn Forest. My goodness. One of my favorite greens. I love the autumn base, the olivey base of this ink. And then the shimmer in it is just stunning. Look at that. I feel like it's almost like a warmer tone of Colorverse Alpha PSC, so more olivey. And then you've got that pink shimmer in there, which just is fantastic. You got Dominant Industry. Autumn Forest. This one was another one that I bought without ever trying a sample because it was just too pretty. But also I couldn't get a sample from Galen Leather where I was placing my order. But it's gorgeous and I don't regret this ink at all. Dominant Industry Autumn Forest. The next ink I'll be swatching is Ferris Wheel Press Edwards Gardens. And I feel like this is leaning more towards the dark green teal with shimmer. And I got this bottle direct from Ferris Wheel Press. they sent me a bottle of this to, oh no, I think I won a giveaway. Yes, I won a giveaway and I chose this bottle of ink. So it looks a little bit more teal. I think it's going to come across more teal than green. Yeah. It's probably the most blue out of the bunch that I'm going to swatch today. And I probably wouldn't have included it if I had remembered that it was very teal. So this is Ferris Wheel Press, Edwards Gardens. And it is very similar to her Jacques Herbin Emerald of Chavour, but I don't have that to compare it with, unfortunately. So, a little bit of a mistake on this one. Probably not green, more teal. Ferris Wheel Press, Edwards Garden. The next one from Ferris Wheel Press is Knitted Nettle. There's not a lot of this one left, and I really like this one. Again, I feel like this would fall in the more teal or turquoise category, and I don't think I even got any. Is there any left? Am I trying to swatch something that doesn't actually have any ink left? Okay, I managed to get some. I'll probably have enough to do this video. Oh, see, isn't that lovely? Then get some on my nib. Did I get any on the nib? There we go. So, Ferris Wheel Press. Whoops. There we go. Knitted Nettle. Probably just enough for this video. That's okay. There we go. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Definitely more along like the turquoise line, but greener than Edwards Gardens. So Ferris Wheel Press, Knitted Nettle. Last in the Ferris Wheel Press is Peter Moss, and I love this ink. I searched for this ink for a long time, and then I found it at my local, excuse me, stationery shop. Oh. Like, it's such a beautiful, beautiful green. My voice is going because I do a lot of talking during my workday. Oh, look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I love how just foresty but muted that looks. So, Ferris Wheel Press, Peter Moss. And this ink shades beautifully, but also flows really well in my pens. Another great one from Ferris Wheel Press. The next few inks are from Pilot, and we have Pilot Iroshizuku Chiku Rin. And this was one that I thought was really similar to Diamine Meadow, but it's actually lighter. And again, one of the first bottled inks that I ever purchased. So similar in tone to Diamine Meadow, but definitely a little warmer, less saturated. Again, another one that I really love to use for painting. So we have, whoops, too much on there. Pilot Iroshizuku Chiku Rin. And beautiful. I really love that. Next is Pilot Iroshizuku Shin Ryoku. This was the one that I spilled half of it on my desk a few months ago. And my hand looked like a zombie hand. Definitely a different green, more blue in tone than Chiku Rin. This is one that I don't use that often, but my husband likes it, so I keep this in my collection for him. So Again, a lot of ink there. Pilot, Roshizuku, Shin, Ryoku. I love Pilot inks. They're all so well behaved. And if I had to just stick to I say basic, but to a specific color family or specific brand of inks, I don't know, it would probably be between Diamine and Pilot or Roshizuku. The only reason Diamine would win out was because of all the shimmer inks that they've got. But I do like Pilot because they're just such well-behaved inks. So is Diamine though. So actually, after that little argument with myself, I'd probably choose Diamine as the brand if I had to choose one brand. Anyway, Pilot or Roshizuku, Shinryoku. Next, we have Private Reserve Avocado. This was a sample that I got free with my order from PenChalet. And it's not a green that I normally would have gone for, but I really liked it in my paintings. So I'm trying to use up the rest of it. It's a darker green. And actually, I'm looking at all of the greens that I currently have on the sheet, and they all look different, which pleases me because that means then that I am not buying multiples of the same ink, that every ink that I have is unique. So Private Reserve Avocado. And that's really one of the main purposes of me doing this practice of going through all of my different color families, is to make sure that I don't really have too many of the similar shade of ink. So Private Reserve Avocado. Next is Rohrer and Klingner Alt Goldgrün. Again, one of my favorites, which is why I have a bottle, and this is why I've had this for a few years and really enjoy this ink. I love the olivey tone of this ink, the warmer green of this. Some would call this more a fall ink, but I don't know, I feel like I could use this at any time of year. But it was one of those inks where when I was first starting out my fountain pen journey, was one that was very popular, and it's so well priced as well. So Rohrer and Klingner Alt Goldgrün. Beautiful. Love that. Oh, realizing I'm a little crooked. Next is Robert Oster Astorquiza Olive. And this was a sample sent to me by Pen Friend S. Thank you very much. Making sure I actually get some on my nib. And realizing how much ink I have on my fingers. That's okay. I love the tone of this. Kind of reminds me of the tone of Dominant Industry Autumn Forest, but without the shimmer. Beautiful. Oops. And this one I had used in a pen and really loved the flow of it. So Robert Oster. But also you can see the way that it's drying. There's some like different tones in there. Astorquiza. Whoops. Astor. Oh my goodness, my writing. Olive. And the line width, it's more like a grayish, well, gray, brown, green. I love it. Next is Robert Oster Hemp, a sample sent to me by pen friend Kat, and I had just finished using this in a pen recently for 15 inks, 30 days. Really well behaved, lovely green. And I'll probably use this in painting or give this to a pen friend, but I just wanted to record everything. Whoa, very wet. Record Robert Oster. Record everything that I currently own. That is a blob. That does not say Robert Oster. That is a blob. but I wanted to record everything that I own in each of the color families while I had them. That does not say Robert Oster, but I promise you it does. Robert Oster Hemp. Next we have Sailor Ink Studio 280. This was the ink at the beginning of the video that I was debating whether or not it was an actual green. It looks more yellow. But among these, oh, it's got other ink mixed in there now. But among all of these other greens, it does look a little bit more yellowy pink because of the chroma shading effects in here. But it's still so pretty. Sailor Ink Studio 280. And then, yeah, looks more like yellowy olive green. I don't know. It's such a unique color, but I love it. Like around the edges here, you can see some green as well. So the chromo shading for me, it makes it applicable in many categories. So that is Sailor Ink Studio 280. Beautiful. And last but not least, we have Tacha Ugu Isu Olive. I have tried this before, finished the sample, loved it, and then pen friend Kat sent over another one. And I was really happy to try it again. Another beautiful green ink. Love the way that that looks, and I think being able to try inks again is always fun. So Tasha, whoops, cannot, and then Ugu Isu Olive, and then do the line swatch, line width. Feels very similar to Robert Oster Hemp though. Still beautiful. So those are the green inks currently in my collection. Let's bring these closer. And it's amazing to me how different each of them looks. Now that I look at Ferris Wheel Press Edwards Gardens, yeah, I probably wouldn't have put it in here. But everything else is definitely a beautiful, beautiful green. Sailor Ink Studio, now that I'm looking at it through the camera, does look more brown, pink, but it has green in it. And then Robert Oster, I think the most similar is probably Robert Oster Hemp with Private Reserve Avocado, and then Tasha Ugu Isu Olive. So the three of them look very, very similar. But that is my collection of green inks to date, the most that I have of any color, which is good because I mean, I love green. Green is one of my favorite colors, but I'm also wondering, like, when I get to brown or pink, how much I will have of each of those. All right, but that is it for this month's Color Family Ink exploration. Let me know how many green inks you own, if you own any of these, or if green just isn't your color. Let me know down in the comments below. All right, thank you all so much for watching, and have yourselves a great day.